Hey everyone, normally I don't do criminal cases on my channel. I don't want to be talking about murders or other things like that. I just don't want that in my life. But I do want to go over Trump's indictment in this documents case because you see a lot on the news about it that I think is charged one way or the other. Everyone has their own kind of biases on it. And I just wanted to actually look at the indictment itself and go through it with you together here so we can see what's actually being alleged by the United States of America, by the prosecutors here. And I'll give some of my thoughts maybe as we go, but I'll try and just save them for the end, just so that we can get an understanding of what exactly is being said and how it's being presented, not filtered through the news. So I have it up here on my screen. I'll just go through it. I'm just kind of gonna read it. And if I do feel like saying something, I will say something. But it's United States versus Donald J. Trump and Waltine Nauta. Not really sure how to say that last name. But I will add, we've got Waltine in this case, and then in DeSantis's case, it's Walt Disney, two Walts. Ooh, conspiracy. Anyway, grand indictment. The grand jury charges that general allegations, at times material to this indictment, on or about the dates and approximate times stated below. Just before I go too far here, every time I see the word indictment, I always think, I lived in Idaho and there was a radio, NPR had the local college, BYU Idaho. They would have the students read the news on NPR for certain segments for the local stuff. And there was a lady that kept reading indictment. She said, so-and-so was indicted today. I was like, oh my gosh. But she said it like a million times. Anytime I see that word now, I just always think indictment. And I actually might accidentally say it. And if I do, I'm sorry. That's what I hear in my mind now. Anyway, introduction. Defendant Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of the United States of America. He held office from January 20, 2017 until January 20, 2021. As president, Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents and national defense information gathered and owned by the United States government, including information from the agencies that comprise the United States intelligence community, which is the ISIC, will be abbreviated later, and the United States Department of Defense. Over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other material in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the United States military and human sources, and the continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. At 12 p.m. on January 20, 2021, Trump ceased to be president. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified documents, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain those classified documents. Okay, this is my side here, but when I read that, my very first thought is there no mechanism for making sure that doesn't happen? Because that seems weird to me that like people must have known the documents were there, maybe just no one cared to say anything or do anything about that. But that was my very first question. Okay, going on. The Mar-a-Lago Club was an active social club which, between January 21 and August 22, 2022 hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nevertheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including in a ballroom, a bathroom and shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. On 2 occasions in 2021, and I will say, I read that and like, okay, they're stored there. Are people seeing it? Are they accessing it? Because that's what I thought they were suggesting. And this kind of answers the question. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others as follows. In July 2021, at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, the Bedminster Club, during an audio recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, and 2 members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, Trump showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't, but this is still a secret. In August or September 2021, at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his political action committee who did not possess a security clearance a classified map related to a military operation and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. Those are the 2 instances that classified documents were showed to others that I guess we know of. On March 30, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. A federal grand jury investigation began the next month. The grand jury issued a subpoena requiring Trump to turn over all documents with classification markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigations and conceal his continued retention of classified documents by, among other things, and there's A through E here. A, suggesting that his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. B, directing defendant Waltine Nata to move boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump's attorneys, the FBI, and the grand jury. And it's going to go on to explain here that that Trump's attorneys were going to go get the documents, and between that time and the attorney showing up at Mar-a-Lago, he had asked Walt to move the confidential boxes. So that's what that's getting at. C, suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. D, providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena while claiming that he was cooperating fully. And E, causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena had been produced, while knowing that, in fact, not all such documents had been produced. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the United States government until 2022, as follows. So on January 17, nearly 1 year after Trump left office, and after months of demands by the National Archives and Records Administration for Trump to provide all missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. On June 3, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding the production of all documents with classification markings, Trump's attorney provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classification markings. On August 8, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI uncovered from Trump's office and a storage room at the Mar-a-Lago Club 102 more documents with classification markings. Trump's co-conspirator, defendant Nata, was a member of the United States Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Beginning in August 2021, Nata became an executive assistant in the office of Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Nata reported to Trump, worked closely with Trump, and traveled with Trump. Next section is on the Mar-a-Lago Club. The Mar-a-Lago Club was located on South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach, Florida, and included Trump's residence. More than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office space, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than 150 full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Between January 2021 and August 2022, the Mar-a-Lago Club hosted more than 150 social events, including weddings, movie premieres, and fundraisers that together drew tens of thousands of guests. The United States Secret Service provided protection services to Trump and his family after he left office, including at the Mar-a-Lago Club, but it was not responsible for the protection of Trump's boxes or their contents. Trump did not inform the Secret Service that he was storing boxes containing classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. And what I'm guessing they're trying to suggest there is that the security of these confidential documents was potentially exposed to these tens of thousands of guests. And whether they were or not, I guess we don't know at this time. Next section here is on the actual classified information. National security information was information owned by, produced for, and under the control of the United States government. Pursuant to Executive Order 12958, signed on April 17, 1995, as amended by Executive Order 13292 on March 25, 2003, and Executive Order 13526 on December 29, 2009, national security information was classified as either top secret, secret, or confidential as follows. A. Information was classified as top secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. Information was classified as secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause serious damage to the national security. Information is classified as confidential if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause damage to the national security. So we've top secret, grave damage, secret, serious damage, confidential, damage. The classification marking no foreign stood for, is an acronym, not releasable to foreign nationals, and denoted that dissemination of that information was limited to United States persons. And I don't know where that ranks on the top secret, secret, confidential scale. Classified information related to intelligence sources, methods, and analytical processes was designated as sensitive compartmented information, or SCI. SCI was to be processed, stored, used, or discussed in an accredited sensitive compartmented information facility, SCIF, and only individuals with the appropriate security clearance and additional SCI permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information. When the vulnerability of or threat to specific classified information was exceptional and the normal criteria for determining eligibility for access to classified information were insufficient to protect that information from unauthorized disclosure, the United States could establish special access programs, SAPs, to further protect the classified information. The number of these programs was to be kept an absolute minimum and limited to programs in which the number of persons who ordinarily would have access would be reasonably small and commensurate with the objective of providing enhanced protection for the information involved. Only individuals with the appropriate security clearance and additional SAP permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information. which was subject to enhanced handling and storage requirements. Pursuant to Executive Order 13526, information classified at any level could be lawfully accessed only by persons determined by an appropriate United States government official to be eligible for access to classified information and who had signed an approved non-disclosure agreement, who received a security clearance, and who had a need to know the classified information. After his presidency, Trump was not authorized to possess or retain classified documents. Executive Order 13526 provided that a former president could obtain a waiver of the need to know requirement if the agency head or senior agency official of the agency that originated the classified information, 1, determined in writing that access was consistent with the interests of national security, and 2, took appropriate steps to protect classified information from unauthorized disclosure or compromise and ensured that the information was safeguarded in a manner consistent with the order. Trump did not obtain any such waiver after his presidency. The next section is the executive branch departments and agencies whose classified documents Trump retained after his presidency. As part of his official duties as president, Trump received intelligence briefings from high-level United States government officials, including briefings from the Director of Central Intelligence Agency, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, senior White House officials, and a designated briefer. He regularly received a collection of classified intelligence from the United States intelligence community, known as the President's Daily Brief. The United States intelligence community is the USIC. The USIC's mission was to collect, analyze, and deliver foreign intelligence and counterintelligence information to America's leaders, including the president, policymakers, law enforcement, and the military, so they could make sound decisions to protect the United States. The USIC consisted of United States executive branch departments and agencies responsible for the conduct of foreign relations and the protection of national security. After his presidency, Trump retained classified documents originated by or implicating the equities of multiple USIC members and other executive branch members and agencies, including the following: the CIA, the Department of Defense, the National Security Agency, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, the Department of Energy, the Department of State, and Bureau of Intelligence and Research. Those are all of them, and it describes what they are, but I'm not going to read all that. Next section is Trump's public statements on classified information. As a candidate for President of the United States, Trump made the following public statements, among others, about classified information. On August 18, 2016, Trump stated, "In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law." On September 16, 2016, Trump stated, "We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. Ellipses. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified." On September 7th, so this is the next day, Trump stated, "One of the first things we must do is enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information." On September 19, "We also need the best protection of classified information." On November 3, "Service members here in North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intelligence to protect our country." And I don't remember the context, and they don't state the context of all those statements, but I'm wondering if it was like the Hillary Clinton emails is why he was bringing it up. I'm not sure. Going on. As President of the United States on July 26, 2018, Trump issued the following statement about classified information. "As the head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue of a former executive branch officials," that's the name has been changed. Security clearance raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. Such access is particularly inappropriate when former officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive information to validate their political attacks. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of national, not personal, interests. Next section, Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency. In January 2021, as he was preparing to leave the White House, Trump and his White House staff, including Nata, packed items, including some of Trump's boxes. Trump was personally involved with this process. Trump caused his boxes containing hundreds of classified documents to be transported from the White House to the Mar-a-Lago Club. From January through March 15, 2021, some of Trump's boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago's club's white and gold ballroom in which events and gatherings took place. Trump's boxes were for a time stacked on the ballroom stage, and then there's a photograph, but I can't make it out in this copy of the complaint, which I got from PBS. I don't know if this was originally color, but you can barely make it out. In March 2021, Nata and others moved some of Trump's boxes from the white and gold ballroom to the business center at the Mar-a-Lago Club. On April 5, 2021, an employee of the office of Donald J. Trump, Trump Employee 1, unnamed, texted another employee of that office, Trump Employee 2, to ask whether Trump's boxes could be moved out of the business center to make room for staff to use it as an office. Trump Employee 2 replied, "Whoa, okay, so POTUS specifically asked Walt," which is Walt Nata, "for those boxes to be in the business center because they are his papers," and papers is in quote. I don't know what that means. Later that day, Trump Employee 1 and Trump Employee 2 exchanged the following text messages. Trump Employee 2, "We can definitely make it work if we move his papers into the lake room." Trump Employee 1, "There is still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is. Is it only his papers he cares about? There's some other stuff in there that are not papers. Could that go to storage, or does he want everything in there on property?" Trump Employee 2, "Yes, anything that's not the beautiful Mind paper boxes can definitely go to storage. Want to take a look at the space and start moving tomorrow a.m.?" After the text exchange between Trump Employee 1 and Trump Employee 2 in April 2021, some of Trump's boxes were moved from the business center to a bathroom and shower in the Mar-a-Lago Club's lake room, as depicted in the photograph below. Again, it's all black and white, and you can't really make it out, but there it is. In May 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago Club, the storage room, be cleaned out so that it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, including one accessible from the Mar-a-Lago Club pool patio through a doorway that was often kept open. Again, they're talking about how exposed these documents were to whoever's wandering around in Mar-a-Lago. The storage room was near the liquor supply closet, linen room, lock shop, and various other rooms. On June 24, 2021, Trump's boxes that were in the lake room were moved to the storage room. After the move, there were more than 80 boxes in the storage room, as depicted in the photographs below. And then, you can't really see what that is. 2 black and white photos that are hard to see in this copy of the complaint. On December 7, 2021, Nata found several of Trump's boxes fallen and their contents spilled onto the floor of the storage room, including a document marked secret/REL to USA FVEY. Now, that wasn't a type of classification referenced above, it was either top secret. Oh, I guess secret, top secret, secret, or confidential. So this is secret, which means if it gets exposed, there is serious danger. So these acronyms denote that the information in the document was releasable only to the Five Eyes intelligence alliance consisting of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United States, or the United Kingdom and the United States. Nata texted Trump employee 2, I opened the door and found this. Nata also attached 2 photographs he took of the spill. Trump employee 2 replied, oh no, and I'm sorry, POTUS had my phone. One of the photographs Nata texted to employee 2 is depicted below with the visible classified information redacted. Trump's unlawful retention of this document is charged in count 8 of this indictment or indictment. Next section, Trump's disclosure of classified information in private meetings. In May 2021, Trump caused some of his boxes to be brought to his summer residence at the Bedminster Club. Like the Mar-a-Lago Club, after Trump's presidency, the Bedminster Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. On July 21, 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview in his office at the Bedminster Club to a writer and publisher in connection with a then forthcoming book. And this was already mentioned in the introduction, but I'll go through it anyway. 2 members of Trump's staff also attended the interview, which was recorded with Trump's knowledge and consent. Before the interview, the media had published reports that at the end of Trump's term as president, the senior military official, purportedly feared that Trump might order an attack on country A, which we don't know what country that is, probably for good reason, and that the senior military official advised Trump against doing so. Upon greeting the writer, publisher, and his 2 staff members, Trump stated, and I wish I could do a good Trump impression, but I can't. Look what I found. This was the senior military official's plan of attack. Read it and just show, or read it, or read it, and just show it's interesting. Later in the interview, Trump engaged in the following exchange. Trump, well, with the senior military official, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack country A. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Writer, wow. Trump, we looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff, pages long. Look. Staffer, Trump, wait a minute. Let's see here. Staffer, haha. Yeah. Trump, I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know? Staffer, Trump, except it's like highly confidential. Staffer, yeah, laughter, haha. Trump, secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attack and... Now there's an ellipses moving on in the conversation. Trump, by the way, isn't that incredible? Staffer, yeah. Trump, I was just thinking because we were talking about it, and you know, he said he wanted to attack country A, and what? Staffer, you did. Trump, this was done by the military and given to me. I think we can probably, right? I think we can probably, right? So, I don't know what is going on in this conversation. Staffer, I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to Trump declassify it. Staffer, figure out. Yeah. Trump, see, as president, I could have declassified it. Staffer, yeah, laughing, ha. Trump, now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. Staffer, yeah, ha ha. Staffer likes to laugh. Now we have a problem. Trump, isn't that interesting? That's it. At the time of this exchange, the writer, the publisher, and Trump's 2 staff members did not have security clearances or any need to know any classified information about a plan of attack on country A. In August or September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at the Bedminster Club with a representative of his Political Action Committee, the PAC representative. During the meeting, Trump commented that an ongoing military operation in Country B was not going well. Trump showed the PAC representative a classified map of Country B and told the PAC representative that he should not be showing the map to the PAC representative and not to get too close. The PAC representative did not have a security clearance or any need to know classified information about the military operation. On February 16, 2017, 4 years before Trump's disclosures of classified information set forth above, Trump said at a press conference, "The first thing I thought," and there's no context for what this press conference is about. "The first thing I thought of when I heard about it is," I don't know what it is, "how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed." Next section, Trump's production of 15 cardboard boxes to the National Archives. Okay, and then I'm actually not going to read all these sections, but this is talking about how, this is the part where they're talking about how he didn't really truthfully disclose all the information when he was asked, tried to hide information, go through the lawyers. And part of me like, well, maybe I should read this, but let's see. I'll just read it. It's just a long complaint or indictment. Beginning in May 2021, the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, which was responsible for archiving presidential records, repeatedly demanded that Trump turn over presidential records that he had kept after his presidency. On multiple occasions beginning in June 2021, NARA warned Trump that through his representative that if he did not comply, it would refer the matter of the missing records to the Department of Justice. Between November 2021 and January 2022, Nata and Trump Employee 2, at Trump's direction, brought boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence for Trump to review. On November 12, 2021, Trump Employee 2 provided Trump a photograph of his boxes in the storage room by taping it to one of the boxes that Trump Employee 2 had placed in Trump's residence. Trump Employee 2 provided Trump the photograph so that Trump could see how many of his boxes were stored in the storage room. The photograph shown below depicted a wall of the storage room against which dozens of Trump's boxes were stacked. On November 17, 2021, Nata texted Trump Employee 2 about the photograph Trump Employee 2 had provided to Trump, stating, "He mentioned about a picture of the boxes. He wants me to see it." Trump Employee 2 replied, "Calling you shortly." On November 25, 2021, Trump Employee 2 texted Nata about Trump's review of the contents of his boxes, asking, "Has he mentioned boxes to you? I delivered some, but I think you may need more. Could you ask if he'd like more in Pine Hall?" Pine Hall was an entry room in Trump's residence. Nata replied in 3 successive text messages. "Nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on in Pine Hall. Knocked out 2 boxes yesterday." On November 29, 2021, Trump Employee 2 texted Nata asking, "Next, are you on property? No rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up?" Nata replied, "Yes, of course." On December 29, 2021, Trump Employee 2 texted a Trump representative who was in contact with NARA, Trump Representative 1, "Box answer will be wrenched out of him today, promise." The next day, Trump Representative 1 replied in 2 successive text messages, "Hey, just checking on boxes. Would love to have a number to them today." Trump Employee 2 spoke to Trump and then responded a few hours later in 2 successive text messages. 12 is his number. On January 13, Nata texted Trump Employee 2 about Trump's tracking of boxes, stating he's tracking the boxes, more to follow today on whether he wants to go through more today or tomorrow. Trump employee 2 replied, "Thank you." On January 15, Nada sent Trump employee 2 4 successive text messages. One thing he asked was for new covers for the boxes for Monday morning. Can we get new box covers before giving these to them on Monday? They have too much writing on them. I marked too much. Trump employee 2 replied, "Yes, I will get that." On January 17, Trump employee 2 and Nata gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded the boxes in Nata's car, and took them to a commercial truck for delivery to Nara. When interviewed by the FBI on May 22 regarding the location and movement of boxes before their production to Nara, Nata made false and misleading statements as set forth in count 38 of this indictment, including falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review, falsely saying that he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck for delivery to Nara had gotten to the residence, and when asked whether he knew where Trump's boxes had been stored before they were in Trump's residence and whether they had been in a secure or locked location, Nada falsely responded, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know." When the 15 boxes that Trump had provided reached Nara in January 22, Nara reviewed the contents and determined that 14 of the boxes contained documents with classification markings. Specifically, as the FBI later determined, the boxes contained 197 documents with classification markings, of which 98 were marked secret, 30 were marked top secret, and the remainder were marked confidential. Some of those documents also contained SCI and SAP markings. On February 9, 2022, Nara referred the discovery of classified documents in Trump's boxes to the Department of Justice for investigation. Okay, the next section is the FBI and grand jury investigations. On March 30, 2022, the FBI opened a criminal investigation. On April 6, 2022, a federal grand jury opened an investigation. Next section, the defendant's concealment of boxes. On May 11, 2022, the grand jury issued a subpoena, the May 11 subpoena, to the office of, and I guess apparently Nara was not satisfied with the disclosure or with Trump's response to their requests for documentation. And I'm guessing that's why they referred it to the Department of Justice and the grand jury was opened up. So anyway, again, on May 11, the grand jury issued a subpoena, the May 11 subpoena, to the office of Donald J. Trump, requiring the production of all documents with classification markings in the possession, custody, or control of Trump or the office of Donald J. Trump. Two attorneys representing Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2, informed Trump of the May 11 subpoena, and he authorized Trump Attorney 1 to accept service. On May 22, 2022, Nata entered the storage room at 3:47 p.m. and left approximately 34 minutes later carrying one of Trump's boxes. On May 23, so the next day, Trump met with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 at the Mar-a-Lago Club to discuss the response to the May 11 subpoena. Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 told Trump that they needed to search for documents that would be responsive to the subpoena and provide a certification that there had been compliance with the subpoena. Trump, in sum and substance, made the following statements, among others, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. Four statements. A, I don't want anybody looking. I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. I really don't. I don't want you looking through my boxes. B, well, what happens if we just don't respond at all or don't play ball with them? C, wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here? D, well, look, isn't it better if there are no documents? While meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 on May 23, Trump, in sum and substance, told the following story as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. And I'll admit, I don't follow the news all that closely, especially on political things like this. But one question that's going through my head is, how on earth is Trump Attorney 1 announcing these things? I'd have to check on the, just because of attorney-client privilege, I'd have to check on the rules, maybe because of the criminal issues, and he doesn't want to be conspirator to a crime. Is what my guess here, but it just seems odd to me. And I just got to make that aside while it's on my mind. Okay, anyway, going back here, while meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 on May 23, Trump, in sum and substance, told the following story as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. Attorney, he was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said that it was him. That he was the one who deleted all of her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great. And so she didn't get in any trouble because he said that he was the one who deleted them. Trump related the story more than once that day. Of course, that's referring to Hillary Clinton. On May 23, Trump also confirmed his understanding with Trump Attorney 1 that Trump Attorney 1 would return to the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2 to search for any documents with classification markings to produce in response to the May 11 subpoena. Trump Attorney 1 made it clear to Trump that Trump Attorney 1 would conduct the search for responsive documents by looking through Trump's boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Trump indicated that he wanted to be at the Mar-a-Lago Club when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review his boxes on June 2, and that Trump would change his summer travel plans to do so. Trump told Trump Attorney 2, so the other attorney, that Trump Attorney 2 did not need to be present for the review of boxes. After meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 on May 23, Trump delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club to the Bedminster Club for the summer so that he would be present at the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2 when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review the boxes. Between Trump's May 23 meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 to discuss... that's a lot of numbers. Let me start this one over. Between Trump's May 23 meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 to discuss the May 11 subpoena and June 2, when Trump Attorney 1 returned to the Mar-a-Lago Club to review the boxes in the storage room, Nata removed, at Trump's discretion, a total of approximately 64 boxes from the storage room in Mar-a-Lago and brought them to Trump's residence as set forth below. So it's going to do 4 subsections here, 4 instances. On May 24, 2022, between 5:30 and 5:38 p.m., Nata removed 3 boxes from the storage room. On May 30, at 9:08 a.m., Trump and Nata spoke by phone for approximately 30 seconds. Between 10:02 and 11:51 a.m., Nata removed a total of approximately 50 boxes from the storage room. On May 30, 2022, at 12:33, it's the same day, a Trump family member texted Nata, "Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. I saw you put boxes to POTUS room. Just FYI, and I will tell him as well, not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have room for them. Plane will be full with luggage. Thank you." Nata replied, "Good afternoon, ma'am," smiley face emoji. "Thank you so much. I think he wanted to pick from them. I don't imagine he wanted to take the boxes. He told me to put them in the room and that he was going to talk to you about them." On June 1, 2022, beginning at 12:52 p.m., Nata removed approximately 11 boxes from the storage room. On June 1, 2022, Trump spoke with Trump Attorney 1 by phone and asked whether Trump Attorney 1 was coming to the Mar-a-Lago club the next day and for exactly what purpose. Trump Attorney 1 reminded Trump that Trump Attorney 1 was going to review the boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago club so that Trump Attorney 1 could have a custodian of records certify that the May 11 subpoena had been complied with fully. On June 2, the day that Trump Attorney 1 was scheduled to review Trump's boxes in the storage room, Trump spoke with Nada on the phone at 9:29 a.m. for approximately 24 seconds. Later that day, between 12:33 p.m. and 12:52 p.m., Nada and an employee of the Mar-a-Lago Club moved approximately 30 boxes from Trump's residence to the storage room. In sum, between May 23 and June 2, before Trump Attorney 1's review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, Nada, at Trump's discretion, moved approximately 64 boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence and brought to the storage room only approximately 30 boxes. Neither Trump nor Nada informed Trump Attorney 1 of this information. So basically, again, we're missing 34 boxes. Next section is the false certification to the FBI and the grand jury. On the afternoon of June 2, 2022, as Trump had been informed, Trump Attorney 1 arrived at the Mar-a-Lago Club to review Trump's boxes to look for documents with classification markings in response to the May 11 subpoena. Trump met with Trump Attorney 1 before Trump Attorney 1 conducted the review. Nada escorted Trump Attorney 1 to the storage room. Between 3:53 p.m. and 6:23 p.m., Trump Attorney 1 reviewed the contents of Trump's boxes in the storage room. Trump Attorney 1 located 38 documents with classification markings inside the boxes, which Trump Attorney 1 removed and placed in a red-weld folder. Trump Attorney 1 contacted Nada and asked him to bring clear duct tape to the storage room, which Nada did. Trump Attorney 1 used the clear duct tape to seal the red-weld folder with the documents with classification markings inside. I didn't know they made clear duct tape. After Trump Attorney 1 finished sealing the red-weld folder containing the documents with classification markings that he had found inside Trump's boxes, Nada took Trump Attorney 1 to a dining room in the Mar-a-Lago Club to meet with Trump. After Trump Attorney 1 confirmed that he was finished with his search of the storage room, Trump asked, "Did you find anything? Is it bad? Good?" Trump and Trump Attorney 1 then discussed what to do with the red-weld folder containing documents with classification markings and whether Trump Attorney 1 should bring them to his hotel room and put them in a safe there. During that conversation, Trump made a plucking motion, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room, and if there's anything really bad in there, like, pluck it out. And that was the motion that he made. He didn't say that. That evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted the Department of Justice and requested that an FBI agent meet him at the Mar-a-Lago Club the next day, June 3, so that he could turn over the documents responsive to the May 11 subpoena. Also that evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted another Trump Attorney 3, and asked her if she would come to the Mar-a-Lago Club the next morning to act as a custodian of records and sign a certification regarding the search for documents with classification markings in response to the May 11 subpoena. Trump Attorney 3, who had no role in the review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, agreed. The next day, on June 3, 2022, at Trump Attorney 1's request, Trump Attorney 3 signed a certification as the custodian of records for the office of Donald J. Trump and took it to the Mar-a-Lago Club to provide it to the Department of Justice and FBI. In the certification, Trump Attorney 3, who performed no search of Trump's boxes, had not reviewed the May 11 subpoena, and had not reviewed the contents of the red-weld folder, stated, among other things, that based upon the information that had been provided to her, a diligent search was conducted of the boxes that were moved from the White House to Florida. This search was conducted after receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any and all documents that are responsive to the subpoena and any and all responsive documents accompanying this certification. These statements were false because, among other reasons, Trump had directed NADA to remove boxes before Trump Attorney 1's June 2 review, so that many boxes were not searched and many documents responsive to the May 11 subpoena could not be found, and in fact were not found by Trump Attorney 1. Shortly after Trump Attorney 3 executed the false certification on June 3, Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 met at the Mar-a-Lago Club with personnel from the Department of Justice and FBI. Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 turned over the red-weld folder containing documents with classification markings, as well as the false certification signed by Trump Attorney 3 as custodian of records. Trump, who had delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club, joined Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 for some of the meeting. Trump claimed to the Department of Justice and FBI that he was an open book. Earlier that same day, NADA and others loaded several of Trump's boxes along with other items on aircraft that flew Trump and his family north for the summer. Next section, the court-authorized search of the Mar-a-Lago Club. On July 2022, the FBI and grand jury obtained and reviewed surveillance video from the Mar-a-Lago Club showing the movement of boxes set forth above. On August 8, 2022, the FBI executed a court-authorized search warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club. The search warrant authorized the FBI to search for and seize, among other things, all documents with classification markings. During the execution of the warrant at Mar-a-Lago Club, the FBI seized 102 documents with classification markings in Trump's office and the storage room as follows. So in Trump's office, there are 27 documents, 6 top secret, 18 secret, 3 confidential. The storage room had 75 documents, 11 top secret, 36 secret, 28 confidential. Okay, so that ends the story. Then next we're on to the actual count. So these are the legal criminal statutes that Trump is alleged to have violated, and NADA. So counts 1 through 31 is the willful retention of national defense information, which is 18 USC section 793E. The general allegations of this indictment are realleged and fully incorporated herein by reference. On or about the date set forth in the table below, in Palm Beach County, in the Southern District of Florida, and elsewhere, the defendant Donald J. Trump, having unauthorized possession of, access to, and control over documents relating to the national defense, did willfully retain the documents and failed to deliver them to the officer and employee of the United States entitled to receive them. That is, Trump, without authorization, retained at the Mar-a-Lago Club documents relating to the national defense, including the following. And then it lists the documents, what they're about. And so counts 1 through 31 are all just different documents. And so in my mind, count 1 through 31 are kind of the same charge, just different details and dates. And then the next charges, count 32 through, 36, are all basically dealing with the lying about disclosing all the documents. So conspiracy to obstruct justice for misleading conduct, withholding a document or record, and the statutes are all cited there. Corruptly concealing a document or record, concealing a document in a federal investigation, and scheme to conceal. So the other charges are 37, I guess. False statements and representations made, and you can just envision which those are all just the times he was lying or allegedly lying about the search of the documents and what documents he was turning over. So that is the indictment. Those are the charges. Oh, sorry, it's 38. Count 38 is false statements and false statements and representations. I believe that is the last one. And then it just reiterates the parts of the story that apply. Yeah. And then the last part is it does have the potential penalties, the penalty sheet, and basically all of them have a maximum term of imprisonment between 10 and 20 years. I guess the smallest one is 5 years for false representations. The mandatory minimum term for all of them are not applicable, so I guess there would be no minimum term. And then there's fines. So I guess we'd be looking at potential imprisonment of none is the way I'm understanding this. And I'm not a criminal defense attorney or prosecutor, so I don't know exactly what that means. But otherwise, I'm understanding is there's potentially no imprisonment to up to 20 years on these charges. But that is the indictment. That's the story that the United States Prosecuting Office, let's see who is signing this. Oh, it's Jack Smith, Special Counsel, United States Department of Justice. That's the allegations in the indictment. So that's the unbiased story. Or I guess I shouldn't say unbiased, because if there is a bias, it would be the bias of Jack Smith and his team who's putting this together. But that's the story presented by the U.S. government against Trump. So let me know what you think about the story. Does it match with what you've heard on the news? Just what are your thoughts? I'm going to give you my thoughts in the next video, and I'm also going to rate what I think about this indictment based on my own personal scale. So if you want to follow that, please subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.